Hey guys, JJ here, back again with another Wednesday of Zoom networking. Today we have a dynamic 1-2 punch for you. Our guest speakers today are rock stars out of the Sub-2 community, Pace Warby Sub-2 community. You've heard me talking about Pace if you've been on our calls before. He is the supreme genius for creative real estate in the country, which means the world. And Pace's Sub-2 community is by far unparalleled, the number one real estate education platform in the country, bar none. I don't care who you are. Our guest speakers today are just two wonderful people. They started as students, and one actually, Angie started as an agent. They had an early introduction to real estate, but becoming an agent, investors, students in the Sub-2 community, established investors, and now are two of the premier rock stars within Sub-2. Our guest speakers today, Angie and Dominic Milinazzo. How you guys doing?
Good.
Doing well.
Thanks for the warm intro. Actually, Angie was pregnant with this one when she got her real estate license. So
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
So,
she's 17 now. So
and time just flies, doesn't it?
Oh gosh.
way
Goes
too
by
fast, Angie. Way too fast.
Yeah.
Time just flies. Hey, so guys, for people that don't know you, where in the country are you located?
We're in Colorado, Denver, just a suburb outside of Denver. So it's called Thornton. We've been here our whole lives. Yeah.
I've been to Denver once. It was Valentine's weekend for a boot camp. It was snowing. Looking forward to get back there, maybe for a baseball game. Want to go and see the Rockies play the Dodgers, hopefully.
Let's go. Let's go do it.
So, we're going to talk about your topic today, which is the Elephant Challenge. But I wanted to, let people know a little bit about you guys and your start. Some people have an early introduction to real estate. Maybe they have a family member that's involved in construction or some other aspect. And some people aren't, Now, we can drive in our teens, we can vote in our teens, and sometimes we're exposed to real estate in our teens. Were either of you had any involvement or exposure to real estate when you guys were in your teens? Dominic?
No, zero, none. No. The only exposure I had was selling candy bars, cinnamon toothpicks, and hustling. That's
there you go.
I have. Yeah.
Angie, what about yourself? Did you have any exposure to real estate? Anybody in your family?
No, just we owned hair salons, but that's about it.
Now you guys met at you guys met relatively early, just in your late teens, early 20s thereabouts.
You want to take that, Angie? You want me to?
Oh, you take it because you're good at the story.
So we officially met. How old are we? Like 23, I guess. But I had
I was in high school. It was right after high school because I worked.
Like 20. But we just knew of each other. Yeah, and then things progressed, and my best friend brother married her sister, introduced us, and we got married. So
there you go.
That's how it went down.
So now, you guys obviously you started a family. You guys have kids. About what time were you guys move into real estate? What was that like? Was it relatively after you got married, or was it when the kids got a little bit bigger? At what point in time? Angie, I guess you went. What was your move into real estate, Angie? What were you doing before you became a real estate investor or the real estate industry?
Yeah, great. I owned a hair salon and for a lot of years. And then Dominic and I, when we got together, he was like, you know what? You counsel a lot of people. I think you would be good at being a real estate agent and you make more money and counsel people. So I said, okay, when I was pregnant with Gianna, I was like, I'm going to get my real estate license, and I stopped doing nails. And ever since then, I've been doing it.
And when you got into real estate, getting your real estate license, at what point? I mean, there's a difference between being an agent and being an investor. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. Much different. So I was a real estate agent for about the first 15 years, because I've been doing Sub-2 for about 2.5 years, doing the investment side. And I became a broker back in 2017.
What inspired you to move from being an agent into investment?
Okay, you really want to know?
Yeah.
I hated being a service provider. And having to beg for my business, you know, and I know that I'm good at real estate, but I knew I was better. So we found Pace Morby, and I said, oh my gosh, this is it. And I just put my head down and studied, and I've been studying for the past 2.5 years, and it has done us very well.
Now, Dominic, with Angie having been an agent for such a long time, did you guys become agents at the same time, or were you doing something before you became an agent?
No, I owned a telecommunications company. We did telephone systems, data networks, cabling, and I did that for 15, 16 years. Through those years, though, I did dabble a little bit with Angie. We bought a couple things and sold them as investors throughout those years, but nothing significant. So I was doing telecom, and then, we came to a point in our lives. We actually might be a time for a story for another time, but we actually got divorced. Angie and I did in 2014, and I was still doing telecom, and she was still doing real estate. And then, we slowly pieced everything back together, and we said, you know what, if we're going to do this, let's do something together where we're always together. We can pull one direction and have one vision. And that's when I said, I'm going to go get my license, and got my real estate license. And we thought we were going to set the world on fire, being the combo agents and having a brokerage and people underneath us. But we found out soon that we didn't like that model. So here we are now with Pace Morby and Sub2 and on this Zoom.
Now, how do you guys run into Pace? I mean, did somebody tell you about him? Did you see a commercial? Accidentally run into the airport?
Yeah, a good friend of mine, Steve Ordericio. I got to give him a shout out. He doesn't even really know it. But I meet with him on a regular. We just talk business and such. And I met with him, and he was telling me about how he was arbitraging an Airbnb. I didn't know what the heck he was talking about. I really didn't. I know what arbitrage was. I thought that was a bird. So he says, hey, man, these are the guys that I've been watching. He gives me a couple names, and I go on YouTube, and I'm looking at them. For whatever reason, I ran into Pace. I think it was on Instagram. I can't even remember. And I just felt his heart. I seen him talking. I saw him, I saw his heart. I watched a few of his videos and then said, you know what? That's the guy I want to be around. I didn't even know how much it cost. I didn't know anything. We came back, and I got with Joey, my son, who just graduated college. What are you going to do? This is what you're going to do. Signed up for it. And here we are, almost 3 years later.
Yeah. Pace is amazing. Just dynamic personality, very charismatic. And I've had the pleasure to meet him, a number of times. And the thing that really impresses me is he's just real. He's just genuine, and he's down to earth, and you can't ask for anything more. There's no ego. There's no, nothing fake about him. He's just a real, true, genuine person.
You're right, Gigi. You're either real or fake. That's the only two type of people, real and fake. And he's real as they come and giving. And that's the only people I want to be around, are people with the same kind of spirit that we have, because then it's just wonderful. If you're around the takers, not so good. So
now, I guess you guys were part of what, the first 500, the second 500 into Sub2?
So it's going to be 3 years, and in 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
So I think we were I don't know if we're the first 5 or second 5, but we're up there. We're on the ground level for sure. There was a lot of things that are in place today that were not in place when we started.
Yeah. Like the Avatar program is not there when I started. And
no. None of that stuff.
People ask me if I'm a connector. I say, well, I must be.
Connecting all of us. Yep.
Yeah.
You are a connector.
Thank you so much, Angie. I know when I did start with Pace, when I did start with Sub2, one of the things that was brought to my attention were the different roles. Because when a lot of us get into real estate investment, we're in it by ourselves, or maybe we're with our spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, or happen to be, but a lot of people get it by themselves. And there's multiple hats to be worn. It was introduced to me, the acquisitions manager, an integrator. I didn't know what an integrator was. Obviously you guys have got a great integrator for your team. And Rachel Schwartz, she's wonderful. Transaction coordinator. I'd never heard the term before I got into Sub2. The dispositions manager, and, my prior education program, you just did it all yourself, and then of course the visionary, which is, I guess, something I kind of fall into more than the others. But when you guys got into Sub2 and started going on, I guess, although there's two of you, were you wearing all the hats simultaneously, or did you guys, have, well, you do dispo and I'll do acquisition, or, who's going to handle the paperwork, the transaction coordinator. How did you guys handle the roles when you came in as a couple?
We had it all mapped out. Everything was perfect. And actually, we did not have anything mapped out. We kind of jumped in. We ready, fired, and then we aimed, right? So we had I don't know if it was a problem, but we had a retail side, which is, the agent side. We're trying to keep running, right, and trying to keep doing. So we had Joey and Dylan who were, heading up our new endeavor, right, with our support. And we were all doing everything. Like it wasn't working right. And Angie said, her and I both looked at each other and said, one of us has to stop doing retail. I don't love it all the time. I love some of my clients. Well, I love all my clients, but I love some of the things I do, but I like investing. I like the other side. Angie loves the other side too. So we both made a deal and she said, I'll come do this investment side and I'll be in it 100%, every Zoom, every email, everything, every networking, run the retail side for a while, of course, with her help, because I couldn't do it by myself. And she started doing that, and our business started taking off on the sub 2 side, because she was there to help Dylan and Joey and focus and bring the ideas. So that's really when we started to get traction, when she went over there and focused.
Well, she must have done something right, because I know when I got into sub 2, I just kept hearing the name Angie Milinazzo. And I say it all the time, that if we do what we're doing correctly, and part of that's two different aspects. One is just the work, but the other is to market your business. And you don't market your business, you market yourself. And I say it all the time that if you're marketing yourself correctly, properly, people will get to know your name before they get to know you. Your name becomes your brand. Boy, all I heard was Angie Milinazzo. I said, who is this Angie Milinazzo? Who is this woman?
There's a reason.
Excuse me?
There's a reason for that.
Oh, yeah.
Every dinner, every lunch, every morning. I mean, we're always in some sort of Zoom or watching Pace or something about Pace or something to do with our community. I'm talking, our dinners revolve around it, don't they? Our birthdays revolve around it. I mean, everything revolves around, our vacations revolve around where we're going in the country, according to sub 2. So that's the biggest thing, is that we've made it our lifestyle. And Angie was the person focusing on that.
Before we get into your topic, let me ask you, what were some of the major hurdles you guys had to overcome? This isn't easy. This isn't an easy journey we're on. And you guys have become successful. What were some of the hurdles that you guys found the most challenging?
What were a couple, Ange, that you have?
Well, I think, in the beginning, we really didn't know how to wholesale. And so that was one thing where I was like, I just need to put my head down and figure it out. So figuring out, that was the hurdle, was figuring out that we needed to wholesale first before we could do any buy and holds. Now we've got a handful of properties that we have as rentals, and shoot, we're doing just amazing now with the Elephant Challenge. We wrote, I think, 150 LOIs last week. So the hurdle
we couldn't close a deal.
What to do.
We couldn't close a deal to save our life. We didn't know how to pull lists. We didn't know what our day should look like. We didn't know where we should call, what market. I mean, we were just trying everything. What kind of disposition we were trying to do with the property. So lots of problems. I think we went through every problem. We've had properties burned. We found dead people in our purchases. I mean, we've had a lot of issues that have, could have stopped us. And there was times when we were like, oh my God, like, can we do this? Did we make the right decision? Should I just go and double down on my retail side? I know how to get those clients. Oh my gosh, like, what should we do? And then it just started to happen. We just started to get traction. We figured out how to pull the list, what types of lists, how to call them, how to close them, how to follow up. We figured all this out. We started adding these systems and processes. So I think the best way to be successful is to have a ton of mistakes. Mm-hmm. Just a ton of mistakes, because you remember them. You do remember them. Yeah. And you move past it. But if you don't have that scar, you kind of don't know. You don't know what you don't know. So we're pretty deep. We didn't get lucky with deals. So we had to work and earn and scratch and claw for all of them. But now we have the resources and we have the skills to get through pretty much any deal now.
Let's move on to your topic of the Elephant Challenge. For those that are watching on YouTube right now, maybe people have just, actually logged live into our Zoom call right now and are anxious to hear what you guys are going to talk about. For those that don't know, can you briefly explain what the Elephant Challenge is?
Yeah, so it's a challenge that Pace started a year ago for the creative page with Pace Morby. And so what he did is he created first it was a 7-day challenge where he was going to teach the creative page how to do a wholesale deal, a cash wholesale deal. So we did that. And then afterwards, he asked people within the Sub 2 community who wanted to be leaders who could do deals with these creative finance with Pace Morby students. So that's what we did. We created our group. We got Rachel on our team. We added a bunch of other people as well, and just started actually doing it. We have a creative finance wholesale team now. It's all creative finance.
Fantastic.
So that's Pace started this, and we just kept it going. It's been going on for a year now.
We kind of like organically, accidentally just kept going because a lot of people signed up to be leaders and then went through the challenge and had a few people under them. And then when the challenge was over, people just stopped. Well, we didn't stop. We kept the Elephant Challenge going. We kept all the Zooms. We established more Zooms for ourselves. So we just kept doing it and just never stopped. And that's really what has separated us, because we just have been doing it for a year solid straight.
Well, that sounds fantastic. We've mentioned Rachel a couple times now. What role does she provide for your team?
Rachel's the integrator. She runs the meetups. She makes sure that I'm on top of things. Like, she'll always be, hey, Dom, you do this. Hey, you talk to this person. She's our right-hand woman is what she
That's
is.
awesome. I have happened to know Rachel from years ago. She's absolutely wonderful. Can we bring her on for a second? Have her just put what an integrator is for people that don't know what an integrator does?
Rachel.
Okay, we'll bring her on
Rachel.
here. Hey, Rachel, welcome to the call.
Yeah, thanks, JJ. So I do a lot for the team. To add on, like I just put in the chat, JJ, I onboard all of the baby elephants on our team if they decide if they're showing up to our Tuesday and Friday Zooms and they actually want to join our team, we will provide them a list. But I make sure that I ask them a few questions, I onboard them. We have a Slack channel. I make sure if they need a new list, I'll pull the list. I help run and make sure everything is running smoothly with systems. So then that way, Angie and Dominic can just kind of like tell them like what's going on, and we can do more high level stuff. And then Joey and Dylan can help just literally underwrite and close the deals and get them under contract.
So you're kind of the grease between the wheels there.
Yeah. We all do certain things and we're all very important. We all cannot do what we do if we were not all on the same team. There's no way.
Spoken like a true team player, Rachel.
There you go. And now, right. Rachel, for those that are watching on YouTube right now, can you just briefly give us a definition of the term integrator?
Yeah. So an integrator, I don't know like the actual definition of it, but it's more of systems. I'm more of a Cody. If you guys know Pace Morby, he is a visionary and he talks and closes the deals, whereas the integrator would be more of like data, looking at the CRM, pulling list, skip tracing, all of the back end stuff, and tracking KPIs. Is very important to track your KPIs, because if you're not getting a lot of deals, okay, you kind of need to try to figure out what's going on to make the business run more smoothly and better. So if you guys don't know if you're a visionary or an integrator, I would read the book Rocket Fuel, because there is a test at the end that you can take to kind of see what you are, if you're a visionary or an integrator.
And Rachel, really briefly, for those that are maybe new and trying to understand about real estate and learn from watching the YouTube channel, what's a KPI?
Okay, so a KPI is tracking what you're doing. So what that means is how many calls you're doing. So if we get a contract and we officially close, okay, I want to know how much, like what we've done. So
what does KPI stand for?
Go ahead, Rich.
You can do it.
Oh, key performance indicator.
Yeah, I knew you wanted to answer it. So I'm like, oh, you have that.
I didn't know what it was way back then.
Cool.
Someone had to tell me what.
Well, Rachel, thank you so much. I know that it's crucial to have somebody like yourself on every team, and wanted to bring you on for just a minute. And it's good to see you, because we haven't chatted for a while since we met live time several months ago, or not a year or so. But it's always good to see you, and I think you're wonderful. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
Thanks, JJ.
Guys, so Elephant Challenge. So when this started, again, your topic is how you scaled the Elephant Challenge. You scaled your business with the Elephant Challenge. You wanna run with that one, Angie or Dom?
You want me to take it, Ange?
Sure.
So it was kind of, I guess, it was all happening at the same time, right? So we were building our skills before the Elephant Challenge. That's really the basis. We allowed Joey and Dylan to just mess up. They had no pressure, and they really got good at everything there is to do in that back end, calling, closing, and all that kind of stuff. So we built all that up, and we got to a point where Joey and Dylan could only do so much. So we started using VAs, and the VAs we were using, we weren't finding success. They were great. Like, we found them homes, and people are doing wonderful with them. We weren't teaching them properly. We weren't in it with them. And I don't know what it was, but we just couldn't get any traction with them. So we learned how to close all these deals. We're closing all these deals. Pace starts this Elephant Challenge, right? So now, through Pace starting that, we start doing, our Elephant Challenge Zooms and all that. And basically the VAs got replaced by the baby elephants. So we were more apt to being involved with them, because they're here locally, or we can see them all the time and talk to them and teach them. So we utilize them as the VAs that get paid when the deals close. And our success rate went. So now Joey and Dylan are able to tackle way more deals, because we have all these RVAs, baby elephants, calling. They don't have strong accents. And I know some people in here have that, but it was a problem for us. We weren't getting any traction with the strong accents that we were using. So now we typically don't have that, or at least they know the American culture. Even with that accent, as long as you know the American culture, you're all right. So we have that going for us now. So we have them as VAs, and we brought in Rachel and Travis, and they started to do our processes and building out our REI Reply, which is our CRM. So then we got quicker at turning deals and sending out LOIs and sending out offers and tracking, and then and keeping track of who we got to call back. So all of that stuff just started going, and we've been able to scale. And now we're to a point where we need more people, skilled people, to handle all the stuff that's coming in. So we have the systems, the processes. We know how to get the leads. The hardest thing was getting the leads to consistently flow, because you're scared. Okay, if I don't have these consistent leads, what am I going to do with these VAs? I hired them. Now what am I going to tell them? We can't use you. They can't feed their families. That was really hard for us. So getting those consistent leads, and then bringing the baby elephants, and made it a no-brainer and easy, because we weren't hiring anybody. We weren't promising anybody a paycheck each week. So all the pressure was gone, and stuff just started to explode. And Dylan and Joey are just awesome. Dylan loves teaching. He does all the Zooms, runs all the Zooms. We support him, but he does all those Zooms. Joey assists him in those Zooms, and they just they do their thing. We just support him and keep bringing the leads in.
Wow, that sounds phenomenal.
Now, there's a lot of heartache, man. It's not all, everybody says, oh, we just put up a sign, set up shop. This is what we do. There's been a lot of issues, and there's issues today. We got issues all over the place. But the more things you do, the more issues you're going to have. So you just got to work through those, and hopefully you have, more money and more time than issues at the end of the day or the month or the week or whatever it happens to be.
As you've mentioned, the baby elephants have come on and help replace your VAs. Again, for those that are watching on YouTube and aren't familiar, what's a baby elephant?
So a baby elephant is somebody who came in through the Elephant Challenge that, doesn't really know a whole lot about real estate, right? So they start as a baby, and then they start just at basic level, like making calls, looking to see what deals look like, that, getting familiar with the apps and the resources. Then once they get a little bit better, I don't think we've officially named them, but have we, Ange? Teenager. The next one's a teenager.
Yeah, we're naming them teenagers.
Okay, yeah. Then they know more, right? They can go through the calls and that kind of stuff, and then they're going to progress to a full-grown elephant where they can do everything that Joey and Dylan and anybody else on the team back here can do. That's the progression. That's why I feel fulfilled with it instead of just VAs, because VAs with, I'm just going to constantly have them as a virtual assistant, right? Baby elephants, they can progress to being a partner someday. They can progress to being on the team. They can progress to being a resource for us. I mean, there's so many different ways that they can go. So it's fulfilling to watch them grow, and who knows where they're going to go. If they come to our team, that's great. Now we know we have a very good person that we're not going to be wasting time on. Because hiring is probably the hardest part of this, is finding the right person to hire.
I can imagine so. So it's almost like an in-house training for you guys as you expand your team.
It absolutely is. In-house training, self-filtering mechanism. It's the whole thing. Now it's a lot of work, right? There's a lot of days when we're like, gosh, we gotta be on this Zoom. Everybody's got to be on it. We got to do this. We got other stuff to do, but we got to do this. It's a lot of work, but everything's a lot of work. And a lot of work is fulfilling.
Now, within Sub 2 and Fortune Builders, where Rachel and I started, a lot of people come in and start doing transactions to, turn so many wholesales and, do 3, keep 1, do 3, keep 1, gradually start to build their own portfolio. People might work out of their own trust or work out of their own LLC, or, have an LLC for each property that they keep. As people come on as a baby elephant for you guys and become a teenage elephant and a full seasoned elephant, I'll just say, do sometimes they now have enough to knowledge to suffice their own existence and they go off on their own, or do most of them stay with you and your team just gets bigger? Or
being that it's only been a year, I'm sure some have went off and done their thing, but we have a lot of them that are just sticking around. How many people are on our everyday Zoom, Ange, that we have?
Almost 40.
So 40 of them are taking action that much. Like, they're always taking action. So they have their own little group that meets once a day.
Nancy's in here. She's one of our baby elephants. She's on our team.
So as your team grows, and you've now got 40 people on your regular call, that sounds amazing. You talked about how you scaled your business with the Elephant Challenge. What was it like beforehand? And as it's grown, not only what is it like now, but how do you see it proceeding? I mean, have you guys kind of created a machine that's getting well oiled, or?
We're creating chaos for that machine, and we're adjusting as we can, because stuff's happening so fast. It's happening fast. I would say in the beginning, everybody did everything. Like, everybody was calling whenever, it was just chaos, more than it is now. Way more. It's just when we started focusing on Joey and Dylan, you do this, Angie does this, Don does this, Rachel does this. Until we started doing that, it was complete chaos. So we cured that. Now it's not as much chaos, but where do we see ourselves going? I mean, I want to have a huge team. I want to have a big business. I want to help a lot of people. I want people to come and learn and then leave and go out into the world and do whatever they want. I want people to come and stay with us and be on our team forever. I want all of the above, because all it's doing is it's just creating a community of people, like-minded people like us, like you guys. We were all in one little office. So, we were all on top of each other. We really couldn't separate what we were doing. And then the gentleman that was in here, he retired. He was insurance agent, and we took over the whole lease. So now we have the whole office. So that was a big change that we did as well, is now we're able to invite people over to the office, and I have them coming every day. I have people, I'll meet them at a meetup. I'll go to like a Bigger Pockets. I met a whole bunch of people at Bigger Pockets, and I invite them. Rachel actually has to reel me in and say, okay, Don, here's what they need to fill out. Here's what they need to do. I just create all the people coming in. It works. It works that way. So, I hope that answered the question. If, where we were, where we want to go.
Now, are you guys doing any live meetups here in your local area?
Yeah. And we're going to add a lot more. So we do the first Saturday of each month here in Denver, and Rachel, help me out here. The one in Springs is
Colorado
once a
Springs.
month. Yeah.
It is the second or third Saturday of the month.
But we're going to add some more in there. We're going to add some more meetups.
We're going to add some more to help educate agents. So some meetups are going to be different. You know, some are just for investors, some are just for agents.
Some are for everybody.
Yeah.
Some are for just sub 2, but we're going to definitely have more. We have a lot of success with, we have good turnouts.
Cool.
So I'll put the meetup link in the chat.
We have a question here from the group. Let me pull somebody on here. Sean Baxter, you are on with Angie and Dominic. What's your question?
Hey, Dom. Good to see that you got out of your handcuffs. We won't ask questions how you got in them or what was behind the story, but we'll just leave it at that. Hey, I know I've been on your YouTube calls, your Zoom calls, and everything else like that. Is there, and I know that on the last Elephant Challenge, you had like 300 people to be part of your team. Until that list comes out, is there some stuff that we can help to get over to you guys to help you on any type of deals, or what can we do to help you guys for everything that you do for the community?
That's a good question. Just show up, man. Just show up to the Zooms. Just show up in those Zooms and be active, and stuff will work out through there. I'm sure there are some things that Rachel could come up with that we probably need right now, but off the top of my head, just showing up to the Zooms is really where we'd like you guys to be, because you're informed, you're learning, and that progresses to, you know, you guys being able to do stuff on your own or stuff for us that maybe you couldn't do before.
Okay. Well, keep showing up. Now, yeah, can you drop that link of whatever your Zooms and what schedule that is for everybody?
Yep. Rachel will do that. Thanks, Rachel.
All right. Well, we'll see Rachel up at the community camp, so we'll talk a little bit more with her while we're there.
We'll be up there.
You know, if people are watching right now and this sounds interesting or looking, I want to be an investor, you know, if I could, how do I, you know, participate with this? Is there a fee or a cost when people want to get into the Elephant Challenge?
There is no cost. The only cost is if you want to get a program that PACE uses to find buyers and properties, like an investor platform. It's called Privy. You would go to Privy, and he also has a discount code for like your first month to try it out. I can put that code. Actually, when you go in to sign up for the Elephant Challenge, you will see that. You will see the Privy code. You'll see everything, how to get into the challenge. So that is the only thing you have to pay for, but
it's non-contracted though. It's not contracted, right. And it
is not.
How much a month is it roughly?
I think the first month is like $76, and then after it's maybe $90.
I've heard of Privy. I've been, you know, obviously I'm in the community, but for those that are watching and that are new, can you explain what Privy is?
So it's a real estate platform that has, so there's a thing called, I don't know what, it's like a syndicator, right? Where he gets the MLSs all around nationwide. And in this Privy platform, he has access to, so instead of just going to your MLS, you go into Privy and you can get MLS information from Privy.
What's the MLS?
It feeds it. So MLS is the multiple listing service for states. They have, it's called MLS. And it's like, here is RE Colorado. We have like 5 different MLSs.
And only agents get that.
And only agents get that. But Privy has an IDX. That's what it is. They have an IDX they pay to have MLSs import into his platform. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Because I can't just go anywhere and find something in Texas or Florida or, you know, Tennessee or South Carolina. I can in Privy. Like, you get a lot of information out of Privy. It's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so this is the tool
we teach them that. It's
a tool that your team uses.
Mm-hmm. We teach them Privy as well. And when you do purchase Privy, there's trainings. Benson has all kinds of trainings for you. So it's very self-explanatory and it's very helpful. And I would say on the real estate side.
That sounds phenomenal. Again, I think we've got some of your students on the call. I'm wondering if they might want to come on, jump on, ask a question or get some feedback. Shall we drag some of them on?
Yeah,
sure.
Hey, Pansy, welcome to the call. As I understand, you're a member of Dominic and Angie's team.
Yes.
I was going to say, how long have you been a baby elephant?
Um, Longer than I should be, honestly. But I started on another team in the beginning of the Elephant Challenge. And like they said before, after the challenge was over, like other teams didn't continue to go. So I kind of, got lost in the shuffle. And then I found Angie and Dom. And then I met them at Growth Summit 2023 in Arizona. And at least I felt like we all clicked. And I, asked them to join officially. And so I came on to it. And I haven't done a lot of calls for them, but I think my situation.
But she's our connector. She's a connector.
Yeah. So I was just going to say, I think my situation is a little different than others because I, like you said something earlier, because I had my camera off probably, that I was shy. I'm not really shy. I just haven't been feeling the best. So my camera wasn't on. But I connect with a lot of people. I don't just I know who that is. I talk to people and I get to know them and understand maybe what they may need and what they're doing. And then if I think that, Angie and Dom might have something for them, or they might have something in return for Angie and Dom, I try to get them together, or other people too. In some situations, I have lots of baby elephants and newbies that for some reason reach out to me thinking that I know a lot, which I know a little bit, but
You do.
because I do know who knows those things, I try to connect those new people with the people that I believe would be helpful to them.
You sound like me.
That's awesome. We need to connect more so that you can give me some pointers.
I would love to, and I'll just say right now, add me as a friend on Facebook. Definitely take my number.
Absolutely.
We sound very, very similar, and your role is crucial for their team.
She's everywhere, JJ. She's
on it.
The creative if you go online and you're part of any of those REI groups or anything, she's on there shouting things out and connecting with people. So that's a lot of work in itself. Thank you, Pansy.
Yeah, no,
but I enjoy it. I enjoy every minute of it.
Thank you, Pansy.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today.
I appreciate it.
Well, it sounds like you guys have just really put something together phenomenal with your taking the Elephant Challenge to explode your business, having your teams in place, having people basically come through that program and stick around and contribute, because obviously, the new people are benefiting by having mentorship and basically training as they're participating with the team. And then you guys benefit as well by, training people that are coming on to stay. And, I used to work at Disney here in LA through a temp agency, and they don't hire off the street. They bring in people through temps. And when you keep someone on for a while, they're staying because they like what they're learning. And then you keep them there because you like their performance. And then after a while, it's like, would you like to stick around a while? And, that's where you guys start to build your team out. And the system you guys have created is just unbelievably, phenomenal. I applaud you and commend you on what you guys have created there.
The culture, JJ, that is one of the biggest things, that's the biggest deciding factor if you're going to be successful with your team or not. And if you're on our team and you have the same culture as us, and the giving spirit and that, everything works. So really, it self-filters itself by doing all the trainings and talking to all the people, because the people who don't align with our vision, or like what we think our vision is, or what people should be, they go somewhere else. And then we don't have that drama. We're not chasing drama and issues that are taken away from helping everybody and doing our job. So the culture is the biggest thing that I have to say when you're hiring or building a team. And through the Elephant Challenge and doing what we do, it has enabled us to have that filtering mechanism in place that we just naturally go through the process and find the right ones for us, and the right ones that like us, they find us, and it all works. So one thing we don't tolerate is any no bull crap, no drama. Yeah. Everybody's giving, everybody's trying. We give everybody grace. You know, you're going to fall down, we're going to pick you up. You're going to do something wrong, we're going to help you through it. We're going to do something wrong, help us through it. So we give we give each other grace and allow people to make mistakes. And we just nurture that culture, and it's working.
That's fantastic. So you don't even have to go look for folks. Better just coming through the Elephant Challenge, and
not just the Elephant Challenge, JJ. So if anybody's listening that has messaged me, Angie, Joey, Dylan, Rachel, Travis, Linda, any of us, we haven't got right back to you. We apologize. We are trying to do our best, and just bug us again. Just bug us.
Yeah,
again.
It's not bugging. So I say bug me, because it's not bugging.
It's kind of like what we're looking
for
in our team. That's what we're looking for in our team. We want people that, that seller told me no, or that seller wouldn't talk to me, the agent wouldn't talk to me. Call them again. Call them again. Call another one. Call another one. So that's kind of part of the process. I know we're not doing it on purpose. We just can't get to everybody, that quickly. But after a few days, we'll answer you eventually. But just give us some grace on that. That's all we ask.
And that's one of the things is mentioned all the time in real estate is, one of the important skills is follow up. I've got my godson working on a couple things for me as well, and introducing him to a couple of people. I said, "Did you talk to so and so?" I said, "Well, he's busy." I said, follow up. And it's when you stop following up that, you may need, like how many times do we have to talk to a seller before they sell the house?
13 times.
Multiple touches, multiple follow-ups. And again, with you guys as busy as you are, I know how busy I am. And if I'm as busy, I can only imagine how busy you two are, because I'm swamped.
Yes. Well, we do a lot of stuff. We just help people and meet them where they're at. Like yesterday, we got off our Zoom, but we helped Joel, which is well worth it. But there's some people that had to wait a little while because we were doing that, but we felt that's the best thing to do at that time to help Joel to make those calls. So we're not ignoring you because we're sleeping or vacationing. I can tell you that. We're probably helping somebody else. And when you need something, we'll be helping you, and maybe have to hold off on somebody else as well that doesn't need that help right away.
Yeah. And by the way, if you're watching, we are going to do another live with Joel probably right after this. Come and watch it on my YouTube. And encourage him, because yesterday was his first day making calls to agents, and we might have got 2 deals out of it. Called 5, and he might have got 2. So come watch. We're guiding him. Pace gave him a challenge. He said he had to do it for 90 days, and he would give him a pretty nice reward.
I've done 90-day challenge, man. They're not easy. Doing something every single day for 90 days.
But I'm going to help Joel get through
Joel's going to do it, man.
Well, let's wrap this up, move into the breakout rooms if we can shortly. But if people want to reach out to you guys, they're curious about the Elephant Challenge, or just want to get a couple questions asked, what's the best way to reach you? Would it be, Dom's MySpace page, or Instagram, LinkedIn?
Fax me. Send me a fax.
Send you a fax. There you go. Or do you guys have a website at all, or would this be through Facebook, Instagram?
So all my social media is Angie Milinazzo. You can find me at Angie Milinazzo on every social media: TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, all of them.
So they'll just reach out, and then I guess you hook them up to Rachel, and Rachel will get them squared away.
Yep.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I like Facebook because I can keep track of my messages.
I do too. I like Facebook.
Yeah, because then I can go back and see it and kind of visualize it. If you text me, which is okay too, but then I got to go through about 500,000 texts and then try to find you. So once you message me, then I send the info to Rachel, and she gets you going whatever you need. But if it's, if you have a problem or an issue, you're working on a deal, not like a question that like, hey man, does this sound like it'd be a deal? I kind of passed by this house. Now, if you have an actual deal, then, we'll take the time out and help you. So just reach out any way you can through the information that we put in the side chat and our social media, which is just our first names. Mine is at Dom Milinazzo, my Instagram is, and then my Facebook is Dominic Milinazzo. So pretty close to just my regular name. But yeah, reach out anytime, guys. Love to help.
Sounds great. You guys, I've got one last question before we break away. My group's a networking group, and I'm not teaching education of transactions or, funding or anything of that nature, but just networking and trying to build relationships to help our business. As you two being successful investors, and you've come through the ranks and you've seen a lot of it all. For people that are new to social media, whether they're joining Sub2 or Astro Flipping, one of the other real estate groups out there, people come with very little experience or with a lot of experience, but they're coming now to a new platform, being the social media aspect of joining a Facebook community and using social media to grow their business. As people are coming and creating a Facebook page and joining these communities for each registered real estate platform, what is the importance, whether for the new investor or the experienced investor, of actually networking, and not only networking, but maybe joining a group like mine to contribute to the growth of their business? What importance does that play for these people? And is it something they should consider and take seriously and move into, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's the highest importance. We do, I think, almost all our deals with everybody in the groups. That's where we do all of our deals. I would say 99% of them. So just be active, giving, right? Don't be the guy who goes out there and asks all the time. Give, and you'll receive from everybody in the group. And just stay consistent, keep your name good, your intentions good, your integrity right, and it will just happen. You'll start attracting your tribe, like your vibe attracts your tribe. Mark just said that. Pace always says that. That's the truth. So I think it's not only a good idea, I think it's necessary. I don't think it is necessary. They want to find somebody like yourself to help them navigate, like just in the beginning of what they need to do. So we actually want to, if you will, come to one of our Zooms and be a guest speaker. So we can.
I'd love to.
Even though they don't have big companies and they're not been wholesaling and all that kind of stuff, but you could teach them some things that will make them way more credible when people look at them online, as opposed to how a lot of them are now, nicknames and such. So I think it would benefit them tremendously to have you on.
Oh, I would love to. And I think, how people use Facebook as a business tool is highly underrated. A lot of, I'll just say the younger folks will say, I know how to use Facebook. I've been using it since junior high school. Now, I can see that, but you don't use it the same way for real estate business as you do in junior high school. So, what name you use, what photo you use, how you present yourself, how you build out your bio, how you build out your intro, all that's crucial. And then again, knowing how to use and leverage the algorithm to maximize one's visibility. They all seem like basic. We talked about this the other day. They all seem like basic little things, but when you put them all together, it's like, oh my gosh, look at this package. And
it's like algebra, JJ.
Yeah,
all kinds of little simple things when you put it together. Right? Yeah,
it's crazy. And obviously, if folks on the call, everybody kind of knows that I do this for free. I don't charge for helping people, but that's neither here nor there. I really want to thank you guys for being on. I'm going to definitely be following up with both of you. Probably be becoming maybe a baby elephant myself in some regards. To just try and learn from others. So again, if you guys are watching the video right now, please like Angie and Dom's video. Please put some comments down below in the comment section if you want to get hold of them. Angie is Angie Milinazzo all over all social media platforms. Dom is Dominic Milinazzo on Facebook, Dom Milinazzo on Instagram, I believe. And if you want to get hold of me, it's jjazizian.com. Just go to my website, click the little pulsating register now button, join the group. If you're on the call right now, hang on. We're going to do some breakout rooms with Dom and Angie and Rachel and probably Pansy as well. So hang on, guys. We're going to have some fun. Everybody else is on the call right now or watching on YouTube. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate you guys. And Angie, Dom, I guess we'll see them at the next Elephant Challenge meetup for your group, right?
Yeah.
I think it starts the beginning of August 4th, I think he said. But don't quote me on that. I will find out and I will let everybody know.
Things change rapidly with pace. So,
and just reach out to Dom and Angie on social media. And as we get into, as months go by, they're always going to be out there running their challenge. And, we'll see you guys soon. All right.
Thanks, guys.
On behalf of the three of us, we'll see y'all later.